Persian skies burn gold at dawn, marble halls where kings look on, silken shadows, crowns and lies, empires built beneath proud eyes. A hidden girl with silent prayers, walking through the lion's lair, history hanging by a thread, life or death by words unsaid. Kingdom of 1,000 lands, ruled by iron, ruled by hands. King Ahasuerus sat high upon his throne, yet even kings still stand alone. A royal feast, excessive pride, drunken hearts they could not hide. Queen Vashti would not obey, and so they cast her crown away. Decrees were written, sealed in haste, beauty summoned, lives replaced. Young women gathered from the earth, drenched by charm instead of worth. Among them walked a captive child, gentle eyes yet spirit wild. Esther concealed her people's name, but heaven already knew her flame. Some battles start with swords and steel, others with wounds you never reveal. God was moving quietly where nobody could see. For such a time as this, when darkness tightened in its grip, one voice rose inside the fear. One heart chose to persevere. When kingdoms trembled on the edge and death was written, sealed and pledged, grace stood fearless in the fire. Faith became a nation's choir. For such a time as this, near the palace gates each day, Mordecai would watch and pray. A faithful man who would not bow to wicked pride or evil power. Now then rose Haman, clothed in fame, burning wrath inside his veins. Offended by one righteous stand, he planned destruction through the land. Silver traded for innocent blood, hatred swelling like a flood. A decree was sent to every door, the Jews shall live no more. Mothers wept in hidden rooms, children feared approaching doom. Ashes covered Mordecai's head as grease spread terror through the streets. Instead, Esther heard the mournful cry, saw her people doomed to die, but entering the king uncalled could leave her lifeless in the halls. Fear and destiny collide, tears she could no longer hide. Mordecai spoke with trembling breath, silence now may bring your death. And who can know if you were made, raised within the royal place, for such a time as this. 3 long nights with no bread, no wine, only prayer beneath moonlight. Fasting hearts and trembling knees, begging heaven, help us please. Then dressed in white she crossed the floor, past the guarded palace doors. Every step could be her last, a moment future ages grasped. The king looked up, the room stood still, life and death beneath his will. Then mercy reached from royal hands, he raised the golden scepter's end. For such a time as this, when evil sharpened every kiss, when fear consumed the weak at night, one woman stood for truth and light. The tables turned, the proud men fell, the schemes they forged became the hell. What darkness meant to crush and kill, God transformed by sovereign will. For such a time as this, at the banquet truth was laid, mask removed and lies betrayed. Esther spoke with steady voice, my people face annihilation's choice. The king's rage thundered through the room, judgment sealed the traitor's doom. And gallows built for Mordecai became the place where Haman died. Mourning turned to dancing songs, justice answered ancient wrongs. The scattered hearts once filled with dread now celebrated life instead. From grief arose a holy day to remember how God made a way. Though unseen through every page, his hand was moving through the age. Not every miracle parts the sea, sometimes courage is the key. Sometimes heaven stays concealed, while faith becomes the sword and shield. And maybe you were placed here too, in broken times to carry truth. When the world grows cold and faith feels dismissed, you were born for moments this. For such a time as this, when hope hangs by the thinnest thread, rise even when your fear says run. Stand even when you stand alone, because kingdoms fade and empires rust, but God still moves through those who trust. And history remembers this. One life surrendered can change everything. For such a time as this, Persian skies grow dark once more, but freedom echoes through the courts, and somewhere through eternity, her courage still speaks quietly.